so my son, he's been with this girl since he was in 8th grade, and he's about to go into sophomore year now, right? And she plays guitar. He's had zero interest in anything like that. But now that he's 15, he's like starting to actually find interest in it. So I spent a few days this week teaching him how to play guitar, which was awesome. Like, yeah, I love that this is finally happening. You know, like I've been waiting, hoping that this moment would come so that I could just like sit down with him for an hour and just be like, yeah, so this is what a power chord is, you know? And like, it was really cool to do that. The only unfortunate part was, you know, I wanted to teach him something really easy in the beginning. And, so I went with Nirvana, which, but it's so simple to play Nirvana songs that it was perfect to teach him how to play it.
We're gonna fight.
Unfortunately, I feel like I've sold myself out for the sake of my son. But if there was ever a good reason, that would be it.
I don't know about this Nirvana talk.
That's hilarious because Nirvana's like anti-sellout. Like he hated that his song went so popular.
Yeah, so anti-sellout that they're one of the most famous bands of all time, and they did all kinds of commercials and promotions and went on MTV and all that stuff. Yeah.
They did commercials.
Blame management
after he died or before, because they didn't really do a lot of that before.
Yeah,
you ever see them on MTV Unplugged? I mean, they did that
on Unplugged.
They do shit. They did shit.
Where he had a fucking distortion pedal on an acoustic show. He's punk, dude.
That's so punk.
Played a bunch of covers when everybody wanted to see their songs. Yeah, total fucking sellouts.
Yeah, I think that was.
We can argue about this some other time.
No, we could argue about it right now, my friend.
This is a perfect surprise topic.
Kurt Cobain didn't kill himself either.
Album that they didn't like, so they freaking made it raw as hell for their second one. Hell yeah, dude, total sellouts.
Yeah, that's you know that can't be used as a promotional tool for all the people that wanted that to happen, could it be? No.
I was only 5 years old, so I can't put my ring in this fight.
They depressed a nation. Period.
I think Nirvana's amazing and great melody writers.
I'll give him credit for a melody here or there.
I was just talking about this with my son because he just watched the Motley Crue, The Dirt, which is real fun to watch with your 14-year-old son, by the way. Maybe I shouldn't have done that.
I was about to say, holy shit, man. That movie is pretty crazy. The opening scene.
So we were talking about music, and I said around this time, Nirvana was putting out their first album, Bleach. It was out, and like people were hearing it. It wasn't popular, but people were hearing it. And to think that was out at the same time, I said where people were was this was super popular and generally loved, right? But it was like a fantasy land. The musicians were living this life, and we heard it and thought it would be great. And then, as you see in that movie and in other instances, drugs were not really that fun, and they caused a lot of problems. I said then grunge came along, and you had all these people wishing they could be like these rock stars, and then grunge came along, and they're like, you know what, life isn't really that great. It's kind of shit. And then everybody's like, whoa. So I think people decided like seeing a dose of music they could relate to instead of dream about. I think that's kind of what happened with the shift.
I think you're definitely right about that.
Authenticity.
Yeah. Right.
I think, it feels genuine.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I still think they suck at writing music, but that's fine.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
Fucking.
I don't mean that. Like,
I have 148 IQ. Come at me.
That's all.
That's all.
Listen. At the end of the day,
the songwriting is one of the most praised things ever.
At the end of the day,
guitar playing.
At the end of the day, my 15-year-old that's never picked up a guitar in his life was able to play 2 of their songs after 2 hours.
I never said it was
I'm
difficult.
just saying. Okay, so anybody could have written it, right?
No,
a 15-year-old.
It's the vocal melody that goes over those chords is what is
with
amazing.
the lyrics that you can't understand until you look them up. Yeah,
lyrics don't have to make a good song.
Sorry, that was probably loud.
Lyrics really don't need to make a good song, dude.
Great example.
They're all about the lyrics. That's what like Nirvana is all about. Is the lyrics?
No, it's about the song, about the melody.
You just talked about how like it was about more being sincere and genuine.
I said grunge in general. I did not say Nirvana. Nirvana had some songs that
you're right,
and then there's a bunch of gibberish.
So grunge in general it has that, but Nirvana is not sincere and genuine. I agree with that. Okay.
The melodies from the hits, the melodies from the hit songs from Nirvana that were on the radio and stuff are still not even recreated today. Like if you go learn those melodies, play those as leads on a guitar, you'll see how intricate those melodies are. And to weave those in and out through the rhythm patterns that he was playing, it's pretty fucking difficult. Even a song like Smells Like Teen Spirit, playing that and singing it at the same time is pretty crazy. On a Plane is a great example of like just beautiful melody writing. The way they did it, the way the bass progressed through the notes, the way that they did the full chords, and it was just interesting. I still haven't heard things like that. So
I just want you guys to take a look at the chat real quick. Just take notice of the 100% that is on my side right here. Nirvana's bad.
There's only like 5 people talking.
Yeah, but all 5 of them agree with me.
Come on, get out, Wave, get in on this.
No, see, I hate Nirvana because they killed my generation's music. No, your own generation's music killed themselves.
Yeah, they really
quite
did.
Literally in some cases.
Yeah, for real.
Also, Kurt Cobain killed himself, so I guess it didn't really help.
Damn, I really wish I was awake for this conversation.
Can I say something? I think when I listen to Nirvana, part of the charm for me is that Kurt Cobain didn't know what the heck he was doing on guitar.
No,
he literally just played what felt good and sounded good to him. His voice is amazing. Like maybe 1% of singers could possibly replicate his voice, because he could hit some super high notes with a super full, powerful voice. So I have mad respect for his work.
I'm guessing that if you got the ages of the people that were making whatever comments, there is going to be a correlation with who hates it.
Oh God,
who thinks it's good.
Oh man,
that's fine.
I'm right in the generation that you would think it was good though.
That's true. Champ is.
That's why you're special, Champ.
I hope everybody knows that I'm just playing around. Like I don't like them, but I really, I understand that they have a certain shittiness about. No, I'm just kidding. They have a certain appeal to them that a lot of people can relate directly to.
Grunge is
I personally can't.
Dude, you got. Oh my God.
I kind of agree with that too. Grunge is kind of boring rock.
Go listen to Tad. There's other bands than Nirvana, people.
Yeah, I mean, depends on what you.
Well, let me continue on, because part of the reason that I was showing him Nirvana was because he told me that he had recently started listening to 90s grunge and hadn't even brought it up to me. And I was like, what do you mean, bro? You've been listening to like my times music and you haven't even talked to me about this? Like, what is, like, I was offended by this, like, how dare you? But like, he's been listening to like a little STP, Pearl Jam, some Alice in Chains, stuff like that. And I'm just like, and we were listening to it. So I was like, I'll listen to it with you. So I've been listening to a lot of this for the last week. And, it is just, some of it is really good. Some of it is really catchy. And I think the biggest appeal, like you said, Alan, is probably the melodies that they come up with. But it is so slow so much of the time that I just get bored listening to it. Like I just listened to Plush by Stone Temple Pilots, for example, before I came onto this podcast. And it's just like
Stone Temple Pilots, I fucking love. I hate you, Champ.
I'll say this. I'm not gonna argue anymore about it, but I want to say this because I think it's
I don't hate you.
Something to bring up. Nirvana has reached they're like near mythical status now. So whatever, just the realisms of hearing their music when it came out, it's like Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin is an automatically like thing, and I can't listen to half their fucking catalog. Like I don't like most of their music.
What was that, Led Zeppelin?
Yeah, and some of their music is absolutely flawless and incredible, and most of it I can't listen to. But I love the band, and Nirvana has reached that level to where people just wear their T-shirts because it's a Nirvana shirt. They don't know who the fuck they are, what the music they play.
It's true. It's like Metallica.
It's just a fashion thing now. So that is going to turn people off just because they're so popular that people are going to be like, I don't like them. Fuck you.
Yeah. I like that's
what Champ's doing right now.
I grew through it. All right, no, that's not true. I lived through it.
I guess you're
Stone Temple. Rick Beato said about it though. Like,
here we go.
Kurt Cobain died at 27. He'll never be an old, unrelatable, grumpy man. Kids can always relate to someone who's frozen in time like that.
Wow. So he's saying that like one of the reasons that people respect them so much is because they stopped playing music so early in their career.
Well, yeah, because he's been immortalized as a 27-year-old.
I just don't know if that's a good thing or if it says anything about their music being like
They very well could have went on to play a bunch of shitty music too. We don't know. That's what we don't know.
Yeah.
Champ thinks it all was already.
I know. Yeah.
No, here. Hey, listen. Heart Shaped Box, decent song. All right. In Bloom,
I think
good catchy chorus. You know, like I'm not gonna say everything they ever wrote I didn't like. It's just that I think that they are like the most overrated band of all time.
I don't
There's
know.
a reason though when like so many people relate to them, because our local radio station that plays a lot of indie music did this competition a few years back of like all albums of all time, and Nirvana's the one with Smells Like Teen Spirit on
Nevermind.
it won.
Nevermind.
Nevermind was number one of all the votes that listened to that radio station.
Mm-hmm.
So it relates to a lot of people, and you can't deny the. I mean, we have a very specific audience here who appreciates complicated music. But if you polled everyone, like the Current did in Minneapolis, Nirvana won against every album of all time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so then I'll follow that up with a question for you. Would you say that Taylor Swift is like the greatest artist ever? Because if you polled the last 10 years of the people that were listening to music, I bet she wins as the greatest of all time. I just don't think it means anything.
It's not about talent, though. It's about resonating with people.
Yeah,
you know,
like I'm not saying that they're not relatable.
Taylor Swift has some songs that you could say are well written.
I agree with that
definitely.
also.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. That's my point, though. Like that people are going to relate to it. People relating to it it's good for a relation. It obviously people connect to things, right? But there's a separate part of it that's like, okay, how good does it sound? How much can people relate to it? And how much talent does it require to put together? Yeah. And I think that those things all come into play when you're talking about like the greatest of all time.
I would just say there's a reason that a big majority of the bands we love and appreciate are still struggling just to make a living. You know,
people as a general suck.
I love Nirvana though.
The real problem is not enough people know and love Band-Aid. We wouldn't even be having this argument.
I mean, like going back to like Stone Temple Pilots and stuff. Like, there's genius, and I think those, there's the greatest of every genre, right? And for me, like, I love Stone Temple Pilots because they were one of those bands that could incorporate jazz progressions and grunge.
Just imitating Lane Staley. Oh shit!
And then, hold on. So what I was saying is like. The thing that stands out with me with those grunge, like Nirvana was relatable to a lot of younger people, right? And then you had STP where they incorporated really intricate jazz progressions and somehow made it sound grunge. Then you had Alice in Chains that was like metal grunge, and then you had Pearl Jam that did this like they're like my four favorites from that era. And I think it's amazing how they had their own flavor of grunge, you know? And I don't know. I think they're amazing bands, and they wrote excellent music. But they have a lot of bad songs also. I will agree. They have some bad songs too. But
I'm exaggerating. I just want to be clear on that. I'm exaggerating.
No, I love, Champ, that you bring up
fucking moot.
You bring up these controversial topics because we had no plan to talk about Nirvana today, and it just became a 20-minute segment.
Hey guys, thank you for watching. The Gaijin guys this year are really trying to up our game in the Japanese music news space, so we really rely on our Patreon supporters and our members over here on YouTube, so thank you so much. So if you guys can help, consider becoming a Patreon supporter or a member, and you also get exclusive group reactions from all of the guys. Stay awesome, everyone. See you in the next one. See you!